souls today. How are you all doing? This is Ilana Michelson from ilanamichelson.com or optiontoheal.com. And today I took a path less taken. And now I know why it was a path less taken. But since if I choose to focus on the negative, I'll get more negative. But if I choose to focus on the positive, I'll get more positive. I'm going to choose to focus on the positive in that it's quiet over here and there's a nice shady spot where I'm sitting in right now. And I don't have cars zooming by, and so I can talk to you in a very quiet place. And what I want to speak to today is about the fact that life is an experiment. Now, going on from my takeaways from my trip to Greece, where I had a mini meditation retreat with a few other fellow meditators and friends, one of the things I took away from it is that life is really just an experiment. Now, we can either be only the subjects and let life be the scientist and let the scientist do whatever it wants with us, meaning live our life by default, or we can decide that we're going to be both the scientist and the subject. Now, as the scientist, I kind of look around and see things that other people have done and see what's worked for them, and then I test it to see if it works on myself. And being a practitioner, after I see that it works on myself, I will then ask my clients, who almost all of them are willing to be my guinea pigs because they know that I always have fun things or things that are going to work well or fast. And I ask them whether they want to be guinea pigs in order to try this new experiment as well. So my latest experiment is lots and lots and lots of meditation. Now, I know that the way you're supposed to meditate from Dr. Joe Dispenza is you're supposed to have your body asleep and your mind awake. And so I decided, let's try meditating at night. And I want to see a few things. I want to see, first of all, if I can stay awake while I'm meditating. Number two, how my body reacts while I'm awake while I'm meditating when it's middle of the night. And I have a good sleep watch tracker that tracks my sleep to let me know when I'm in deep sleep, when I'm in light sleep. And also to see what happens in the daytime afterwards as a result of all that meditation and all that hanging out in the quantum field in the fifth dimension. And so I started last night, and I'll say one thing at least that I know, that I did spend some time mind awake, body asleep, which is actually pretty cool because during the daytime my watch doesn't track it, so I can't really tell what's happening if I meditate during the day. But when I meditate at night, I can tell. Second, I can tell you is that I meditate for 3 hours from 12 to 3 in the morning. And yet, when I woke up in the morning, I felt actually pretty refreshed, which means that I was still getting the necessary rest to my body that my body needed. So that was also pretty cool. I can tell you that at the end of the 3 hours of meditation of doing Blessings of the Energy Centers by Joe Dispenza, my whole body was pretty much tingling, which I would expect since it's Blessing of the Energy Centers and you're healing your energy centers, so that's good. And I was copying someone who did it, I think 5 or 6 hours in a row to heal his sensitivity to electronics and to electrical impulses or something like that, EMFs. And he ended up healing his whole life in every possible way. So I said, this is interesting. Why don't I try it? I can't always do it during the daytime, and I think that there is some elements that are good in doing it at nighttime. So once again, it's just an experiment to see how it works like this, how it works like this. And I guess coming from a background of a molecular biologist, because I do have a PhD in plant molecular biology, I do have that scientific way of looking at things and saying, all right, let's change one thing and see what happens. Let's change another thing and see what happens. And so that's just the way that I've been working my life, and I find it much more interesting that way, much more fun that way. I find that I get some really interesting results that way, and I'd be really happy to know or interested to know what you do with your life, whether you just do it as by default or whether you take life into your hands and become the scientist as well, not just the subject, and see what happens as you're going through life when you do things differently. Anyway, that's today's message. I'll keep you updated as new things come up with this new experiment that I'm doing right now. But for right now, I think it's kind of cool and I'm enjoying it. So have a great day, all you beautiful and lovely souls out there, from ilanamichelson.com or optiontoheal.com.